I started to get these visions, and I didn't know what they were. They're called flashbacks, if anyone knows about them. So I started to get these visions and flashbacks of these things that happened when I was a kid. I couldn't remember. I didn't know anything about it. So anyway, I had those for a period of 5 years. And what happened was, I was actually abused by a satanic pedophile ring when I was 10 years old.
Wow.
And these people were really evil. They did a lot of stuff, and that's what I was getting visions of what they'd done. And I really struggled with that for a long time. And basically, I was angry with God. I gave up on God. And I made a few different choices. I couldn't really work as a mechanic because I was really good at my job, and it was hard to work for people who weren't that good, you know. So I went back into the transport industry. When I went back into the transport industry, I knew it was full of drugs, but I was going to be different, and I wasn't going to take them. And I lasted 4 months, and I was in the music industry, so we were doing all the big shows and all the concerts. And by this time, I bought my own truck, and I had a big tour coming up. It was a KISS tour, and I had to be in Perth in 4 days. It was Friday night, and my boss rang me up and said, "Can you be in Perth Tuesday afternoon?" I said, "No worries, Fred." Then he rang me up 5 minutes later and said, "Can you be in Perth Monday afternoon?" I said, "No worries, Fred." Then I rang my brother who worked for the same company. I said, "I'm in trouble, Paul." I said, "Fred wants me in Perth on Monday." And I said, "I've just done Carole King. I've just come from Adelaide." So he said, "Go and see this guy in the yard." And he gave me my first little bag of crystal, and I didn't know what it was. So that's where it started for me. So I didn't know it was ice. I got onto ice. I used ice for 5 years, in and out of the truck. And it took me to places I never thought I'd go. I became an injecting ice user, never thought I'd do that. Ended up in Toowoomba with another junkie, living with another junkie, hoping to die. Was still really angry with God, and I just wanted to die, you know. And it was a horrible place to be after you've been in recovery and had such a good life. And so God told me he was going to get me in recovery, and I believed him. So I jumped on the bus and came to the Gold Coast. That was nearly 2 years ago, you know, and I went to rehab. Never been to rehab in my life. I was a Christian. I'd been saved like 4 years ago, a little bit of time before, but I was still using, and I didn't really know what it was to be a Christian. Well, God showed me, and he's still showing me today, you know. And so I went to this Christian rehab. I didn't think it was very Christian. It was like transformation, so it was really hard. A lot of rules, a lot of things. But I accepted it because I knew that God had put me there for a reason. What I had to learn was obedience. First, I had to let go of my codependent girlfriend, and me, I was codependent as well, so I had to let go of her, and I had to learn obedience and authority. And that's why God put me there, you know. Because unless I understand that, I can never ever access the full power of God. So yeah, so that was a journey, and then I went from sort of halfway houses and stuff, and now, you know, my life has just changed. I've got a job, I've got a car, all from God. He's got a great sense of humour. I'm a Holden man, so he gave me a Ford. You know, so I'm grateful for everything I get today. I love Jesus. I grow with him every day. This is what I say to him. I say, look, I'm no good with the women, right? So I say, you find me a wife, because I can't find them. I already had 2, and I can't pick them, so I leave that up to him. So I live my life today. I go to church. I'm involved with the boys from the rehab. I see them quite often. I do groups and spend time with them and encourage them. You know, the best thing I can do is encourage people. I still go to my meetings, and I go to Damien's course, which is a 12-step recovery. I love Damien's course because it's a 12 steps, but it's a different slant. It focuses on Christ, you know, because God has a bit of a hard time in that, eh? And sometimes the church don't like the 12-step program sometimes, so I can sort of go in the middle, you know, because I'm very tolerant and I've seen these things. And so I love Damien's course. It's the 12 steps, but it's centered in Christ, which is good for me. And I've been doing that for about 8 weeks, and that's really good for me. So, you know, mate, it's just amazing, you know. I just trust God every day. I can't run my life. I laid my life down for Jesus. When I was in that place in Toowoomba, I was so broken. I was so broken and so lost, you know. And now I'm not lost, I'm found, you know. So it changed my life, you know. I was the one, you know. Jesus said he leaves the 99 to go for the one. Well, we're all the ones. He came for me, you know, and he found me, and I'm just so grateful, you know. He saved me, you know. It's an amazing trip, you know. Like, I thought he left me, you know. Jesus says he'll never abandon us or leave us or forsake us, right?
It's good.
And when I had that 5 years where I thought he abandoned me, I had vision. I had an experience with my girlfriend, and it was really upsetting, right? Because I don't get them very often, the flashbacks now, but I do get them. But I had this vision, and I asked him to show me what happened. And it was really weird, because I thought Jesus abandoned me, and he showed me this vision. I was in a room with all these men with their gowns and their masks, and I knew what they were doing. I'd seen it before. And he was standing right there with me. I was 10 years old, and I thought he left me, and he never did. He was standing right there beside me, with his face glowing brighter than the sun. So he showed me after a long period of time that he never left me. and He never will. He'll never leave you. If you think you're alone, you're never alone.
Come on.
So, you know, He was always with us, and I'm so grateful that He showed me that, and I just love Him so much. You know, it changed my life. So I'm happy, free and joyous today, you know, as a result of that. So thanks very much, guys.